AEW Rampage numbers post an all-time low, 287,000. That is down 23.5% from the week before. Now, I hadn't realised this until you told me, is that it wasn't in its regular slot. It was at 7 p.m., which any kind of diddling around with the time slot always creates a problem, but still, that's an enormously low number. And they were up against the NBA All-Star Weekend coverage, or they were moved because of the NBA All-Star coverage.
They were preempted because of it. So they go on at 7 o'clock, and fans, for everything, they're creatures of habit, and sometimes they may not have seen they're going on at 7 o'clock. Guess when I knew it was going on at 7 o'clock.
When Sportskeeda told you.
Yes, when at 6:30, they said, "Oh, we're on it. The show comes on at 7. I'm supposed to watch it at, usually at 10, so I was expecting it at 10. But now they're going on 3 hours early. That's quite a change. I mean, I may have had something planned for 7 o'clock, which I didn't. So, but what I usually do, I tape the show. And usually my schedule is I start SmackDown. I tape it for 30 or 40 minutes before I go in there to watch it, because I can't sit through the commercials. And then when I get to Rampage, now I'm caught up, so I go through an hour. But I'd rather do the first segment and then speed through it to the second segment, pick it up. If anything's happening, I'll stay a while and I'll get through it a lot quicker. And with the same understanding I would have gotten had I watched it live totally. So, but the reason I think that their rating dropped, well, there's a lot of reasons why that rating is not high. That mainly was due to the time bump, the time change. But talking about AEW and Rampage, a lot of it is, and Tony Khan, don't get mad at me, but I'm going to tell you what I think. It's a missable show. I mean, if you miss something, you're going to hear about it on social media. Wow, you missed this match, and now I might go back and watch it, but you don't ever hear that about AEW that much.
And AEW World Trios Championship, The Elite versus AR Fox, Top Flight, Daniel Garcia versus Ricky Starks, TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Vert Vixen, and Dustin Rhodes versus Swerve Strickland. I mean, I thought maybe having The Elite on it might, get some people excited, for the people who like that kind of thing, but apparently not. It's just Rampage, just a dead show at this point, and what can they do to revive it?
Well, start telling some stories. But I think Tony wants everybody to watch Dynamite naturally, and to watch Rampage 2. And sometimes it's hard to interchange between those two shows. And what I said earlier, it's a missable show. What I told Tony, I didn't tell Tony, but what I suggested was those backstage interviews are literally horrible. It looks like an independent show standing in the back. Now, one of their last shows I saw that had, I forgot who was doing the interview. They were like outside in a little garden with a little waterfall. It looked pretty good. But a lot of times they're standing in the back with a bunch of chairs thrown around and a front end loader sitting there. It's like in the back of the Coliseum. It looks horrible with no lighting. It looks, and as well as I do, if you don't have lighting, you look really, really cheap. Mm-hmm. And the people, they just kind of blend into the background. It's a horrible look. It really is. Plus, the interview are so short. They go 45 seconds, maybe 50, maybe. But I've heard a lot of interviews. I don't even know what they're talking about, because that's their messaging is not getting out there. So now they hired Renee but they hired her. She knows what she's doing. So she'll get guys and sit them down and talk to them. Then they'd kind of tell you the story. But a stand-up interview with whatever girl is doing it, it misses the mark totally. Because I watched enough wrestling that if they show up like that, here's a guy talking, blah, blah, blah. It's a blah, blah, blah. That's all I'm hearing. So the story is not being told, and that's the only thing that's going to help the show. I mean, wrestling, it never did anything. Even back in the early days, you got to have a story, and you got to have somebody they like and somebody they don't like. That 50-50 booking is okay every now and then, but if you make a steady diet of it, you're going to lose weight, and you're going to lose it fast because it's not watchable. I don't care to watch it. Two good guys against each other, I just can't watch it. That's me, but I guess other people are different. I don't know.